about what you're describing to be interested. He whips out an envelope, he takes a pen out, and he starts writing down and says, "Intern, this is very important. Outstanding. I like what you've come up with. Good thinking." He's taking notes. Remember, he knows enough to be interested, but he doesn't know enough to make a decision. So what does he do? He says, "You know, let me think about this. I think I can, I like this. Thank you very much. I'll get back to you." And he walks on his way. Now, you are the intern, and I want to make sure that when you walk out of this room that you never let that happen. Remember, you're smarter than your boss. You never let that happen. Now, in managing management time, the seminars, which is a 2-day seminar, and we've condensed it down to 30 minutes for short attention spans, not interns, but we condensed it down so that you can walk away with this one point, that managing management time is fondly known as monkey management. Monkey, remember you've heard of the phrase, the monkey's on your back? The monkey is the next task, the move, it's something to do. It's the assignment. And when you were in your cubicle and you were working on this, the monkey was on your shoulders, on your back. When you met your boss, and your boss talked to you, and your boss said, "Let me think about it, I'll get back to you," what happened to the monkey? Where did he go? He made a flying leap from your shoulders to his. And he walked away with a monkey. Now, with every task, with every assignment, it involves two people, one to do the work and one to supervise the work. Later that afternoon, you being the conscientious intern that you are, or entry-level employee, you walk by the boss's office and you stick your head into your boss's office and you say, "Hey boss, how's it coming?" Now, if we were a casual observer and I were just to look at that interaction, I would see one guy at his desk working on a problem, and I'd see another guy walk by and ask, "How's it coming?" How would I know who is supervising whom? The boss had the monkey on his back. The boss had the next step. Now, just one at a time is not so bad. But remember, if your boss has 10 direct reports, which he may very well have, he might be collecting monkeys all day long. And part of your challenge is that if he takes that monkey off your back, what you've been working on, what you find is a problem, which may hurt the organization or hurt your boss, he's got it on his back, he's now working on it. He'll be distracted by something else because he reports to somebody else up the chain, up the food chain. We want to keep those monkeys on the proper backs. So here's what I want you to do. When that happens, every time that you find a problem or see something, or have a solution, or have an idea, or you're working on something, every time, if you have the assignment, you never leave that assignment with your boss. You keep it until it's done. Because this is the essence of time management. Time management is not the little tricks. It's managing management time in your own time. Even if you are down here, like me, as an individual contributor, because I don't have any direct reports, and I don't have anybody that I can hire and fire, except maybe John there, and I guess he could hire and fire his little brother. But even down here, I can manage the management time by keeping that assignment off my boss, because he won't do it. He may not get it done in time, may not do it right, but I need to help him do this. I need to, so that if I bring my boss a problem, I bring him solutions. I bring him answers. I don't bring him questions. And even if you don't know exactly what to do, you still say, "Boss, I've had a chance to think about this for 10 minutes. Here's the problem. There's 4 solutions, four ideas that I've come up with. I make this recommendation that we take one of these 4, and he'll look at those and he'll say, "Oh, well, there's a 5th recommendation, there's a 5th idea you didn't think of," but it makes his job easier, it gives him something to think about. Then you say, "Oh, great, boss, I'll take that back." So the monkey always stays with you, because if you let it go on his back, it won't get done. And then something will go wrong, and more of your time will be consumed on a Saturday to fix something that was on his desk all week long. So keep it with yourself, and you will have more time for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, one of the things that will make you valuable, the most valuable person in your organization, is that if you understand what's on the boss's report card, what's on your report card, to be sure, but what's on your boss's report card, and what makes your boss nervous. I want a calm boss. I don't want him anxious about anything. So your first job is to relieve your boss's anxieties. And if there's monkeys on his back, he ain't a happy boss. I want a happy, contented boss, a happy, contented manager. So that when I bring him questions or problems, I bring solutions with it. I bring recommendations. So that he doesn't have to do all the thinking, because remember, you're smarter than he is. Okay? Now, part of the anxiety that your boss has is that every time he sees he's thinking two things about you. One is that you won't do exactly what I tell you to do. The second thing that he's worried about is that you will do exactly what I tell you to do. That makes the boss real anxious. That makes him worried because he doesn't know. Now, to understand how managers work, as we individual contributors, what we do in this room has to be perfect. If we are staff, if we are interns, if we're entry-level employees, if we are individual contributors like I am, we get graded on perfection. It's got to be right. 0 defects, 6 sigma, no tolerance. It's got to be perfect. If we're an accountant, all the numbers got to add up perfectly at the bottom. If I'm a bricklayer, the line's got to be straight. If I'm a brain surgeon, it's got to be done right. All the outcomes got to be perfect all the time. No mistakes, no errors, error-free. That is if you're an individual contributor and the vocational side of who does the doing. I do the doing. It's got to be perfect. Now, you work for somebody, I work for somebody who is a manager, and is he perfect? No, he's not. Now, one of the things that I do is I like to advise groups of women on management, because every woman thinks that she has to be the perfect manager because they're already perfect in their jobs and they want to be perfect managers. And I keep wanting to say that you can't be perfect. You shouldn't be perfect. Because if you're perfect and you eliminate a risk all the time, you're not pushing hard enough. Mario Andretti likes to say that if you're under control, you're not driving fast enough. So that you're going to make mistakes. The manager is going to make mistakes. Management is like, it's a different game. It's like a baseball game. A good batting average in baseball, a spectacular batting average in baseball would be 400. So 40% of the time. So 60% of the time you're a failure. Half the time you get it wrong. And the manager knows in his heart, even the good ones, even the cocky ones, that about half the time my decisions are going to be wrong. And they know that. So what they're looking at that's causing that anxiety when they look at you in the morning, that you'll do exactly what you say, or you do exactly what he says, about half the time I'm going to be wrong, and I got to depend upon good staff to save me from myself, because I'm going to be wrong about half the time. In business, the analogy is close to being marketing. With John Wanamaker, the patron saint of marketing, who was also the post office general of the United States, he once said,